Hola! Welcome to your first Spanish lesson on Culturally. Hope you're super excited to kickstart your cultural voyage. Today we are going to introduce you to Spanish and cover some basic greetings. So let's get started. Spanish, or Español, is spoken by 500 million people, which makes it the second most spoken language of the world after Mandarin Chinese. It is the official language of 21 countries and also the European Union. It is important to note here that some words are pronounced differently in Spanish as compared to how we would usually pronounce them in English. Let's look at some pronunciation tips to help you get the perfect Spanish accent. So let's look at Español and learn how to pronounce it. The letter A is pronounced as A, as in father. Did you notice the letter ñ in Español? This letter is peculiar to Spanish. It is pronounced as ni, like in canyon. So, can you try saying Español? It is called Español. Great! Spanish is primarily spoken in Spain and Latin America, with Mexico having the largest number of Spanish speakers. Let's look at some countries and nationalities and notice some peculiarities in the way the names are written and spoken. For example, Spain is known as España, and the people are called Español and Española. Can you try that? Español and Española. Similarly, people from Mexico are referred to as Mexicano or Mexicana in Spanish, although you just call them Mexican in English. Similarly, people from Guatemala are called Guatemalteco or Guatemalteca, and people from Cuba are called Cubano or Cubana. We will learn why these nationalities have two different endings as we go along. However, it is important to note that not all nationalities have two different endings. For example, people from Nicaragua are called Nicaragüense, and those from Costa Rica are called Costarricense. Now, you may have noticed that a lot of these names had peculiar pronunciations. Let's look at them in detail. Did you notice that the X in Mexicano is pronounced as H? While X is usually pronounced as X inflexible, it is pronounced as a throaty H in the words Mexico, Mexicano, and Oaxaca, which is a state in Mexico. So, can you try saying Mexicano? It is called Mexicano. The other thing that you may have noticed is the symbol on U in Nicaragüense. Gu, when followed by another vowel like in gue, is pronounced like gue in Gwen. So, let's try saying Nicaragüense again. It is Nicaragüense. Very good. Going back to our question on some nationalities having two different endings, this is because in Spanish we use different endings for masculine and feminine words. For example, if you were to refer to a person from Argentina, you would call them Argentino if they were male and Argentina if they were female. And for a group of people, we would say Argentinos or Argentinas for male and female groups respectively. So did you notice the difference? Masculine forms would usually end in O and feminine in A. And for plural forms, we just add an S after the word. Remember this difference as it would help us through this lesson and the lessons going forward. Did you notice that Argentino is pronounced as Argentino? In Spanish, G, when followed by E or I, is pronounced like a throaty H. So try saying Argentino again. Argentino. Excellent. You may have noticed that nationalities are not capitalized in Spanish. In Spanish, while the names of countries are capitalized, words derived from it, like the nationalities or names of languages, are never capitalized. So while the E in España is capitalized, the E in Español is not. Great! So now you know some key pronunciation and grammar peculiarities. Remember these as they will help you understand a Spanish accent in the language. Let's now move on to some delightful and useful greetings in Spanish. Let's get started with the most common greeting, hello or hi. Hi is called hola in Spanish. Can you try that, please? Hola. Did you get that right? hola. Remember, H is always silent in Spanish. We do not pronounce it. Let me give you a quick grammar tip here. Did you notice the inverted exclamation points with hola? The upside down or inverted exclamation points are unique to Spanish. This is to ensure that when you're reading, you can tell long before the end of a sentence whether you're dealing with an exclamation. All right, next, let's look at good morning. In Spanish, good is translated as buen. Can you try that? Buen. And day is translated as dia. Although dia literally translates to day, it is used as morning in the greeting good morning. In Spanish, nouns take up either masculine or feminine gender. For example, dia is masculine. The adjectives describing these nouns therefore also need to reflect the same gender. Since dia is masculine, we will use the masculine form of good. Hence, we add an o at the end and make it bueno. Can you try that, please? Bueno. Very well. Did you notice that dia has an I marked with an accent? In Spanish, if a word is marked with an accent, then that syllable receives the stress. So try saying dia again. Dia. Good morning is therefore called buenos dias. Let's repeat that. Buenos dias. Did you notice that buenos is plural form of bueno? Greetings such as good morning and good afternoon, etc. always take up plural forms in Spanish. Hence, we add an S after both bueno and dia. Hence, good morning is translated as buenos dias. Try that again, please. Buenos dias. Moving on, good afternoon or evening is called buenas tardes. Can you repeat that? Buenas tardes. Did you notice that good morning is called buenos dias, but good afternoon is called buenas tardes? As we learned, adjectives in Spanish take different forms depending on the gender of the subject. Since morning or dias is masculine, we use buenos. Whereas for tardes, which is feminine, we use buenas. Again, buenos is plural form of bueno, and buenas is the plural form of buena. They are plural as both dias and tardes are plural. All through your lessons, we will ensure that you are aware of every cultural nuance, so you never make a cultural faux pas. So, let me give you a quick cultural tip. Good afternoon is used from approximately 3 p.m. onwards till 7 p.m. However, it is not really time-bound. Good afternoon is usually used from lunchtime till it gets dark. Expect lunch hour to be around 2 or 3 p.m. Now, we look at good night, or buenas noches. Buenas noches. Can you repeat after me, please? Buenas noches. Very good. Now, just like in English, where we often use good night to bid farewell, buenas noches can also be used to bid farewell. Remember that noches is feminine and plural. Whenever you're at a new place, it is important to know the cultural norms and how to meet and greet with the locals. Let's look at some greeting etiquettes now. When meeting someone new, usually you would just smile and say hola. Sometimes extend a handshake if it's a bit more formal. A light hug and a kiss or two on the cheeks is common for friends and family, especially among women. Remember that shaking hands is more formal a gesture and is usually used for settings such as business meetings. So, today we learned few basic greetings. Let's quickly go over them again. Hello or hi is hola. Good morning is buenos dias. Good afternoon is buenas tardes. And good night is buenas noches. Great! Now comes the best part of our journey. In every lesson, we will give you what we call the culture leaf. These culture leaves are like a window into cultures and traditions, so we hope you enjoy them. Today, we talk about soccer. Soccer is like a religion in Spain. The two successful football teams from Spain, FC Barcelona and Real Madrid, are also fierce competitors. In the next lesson, we will continue our journey and learn some more greetings and build our vocabulary. Hope you enjoyed your first lesson. See you at the alley for the next one.